All right, how's it going? My name is Matt Bolf with Everyday Evangelism Ministries, and I want to introduce Harvey McKelvey. Harvey, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you came from, what you're sharing with us today, stuff like that.
I'm just a simple pilgrim running around this world like everybody else. And the Lord's been terribly grateful to me. I'm so thankful. I think sometimes I just want to be special kids, and I know I'm not, because we're all in the same boat. Years ago, as a 7-year-old boy, I began attending a little evangelistic meeting we had on our property way out in the boonies in Colorado. We had put up a tent. We had a tent meeting. And as a little boy, I and all my little friends with me, we were 7, 8 years old, we were sitting on the front booth, and I just took my place way at the end. I'm always trying to hide out, be the last one, and then God has to hunt for me, find me. That's just the way I am. I can't help it. I don't like the limelight, but that's just the way I am. But anyway, this particular night, the pastor was dressed in white, all the singers were dressed in white, the piano player was dressed in white, and out in the boonies in the sagebrush of Colorado, they were singing, "Are You Washed in the Blood?" I don't know if you've ever heard it or not, but I would recommend you get it and study it and learn it and sing it yourself, because that's the basic of what this video is all about, and the vision. It's all about getting holy and righteous before God. But anyway, they were singing this, "Are You Washed in the Blood?" And as just a little boy, they're not supposed to know all that much about Christianity and Jesus and all that stuff. However, we were born in a Christian home, and Mother made sure we went to Sunday school and church every Sunday. We didn't miss. We'd have been in trouble if we did. So I knew all about this, but this particular night when they were singing that song, I had the Holy Spirit move upon me in a way that frightened me, and I didn't understand what was going on, but all at once I felt like I was the dirtiest little boy in the world. That I'm not white like they're talking about, I'm not holy like they're talking about, I just was a misfit, and I felt so dirty and so filthy, just as a little kid. So you can't tell me that older people don't understand the gospel. If a little kid can do it, bless God, you can too. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we took care of that night. I got saved, had the robe of righteousness placed on me, my sins all gone. I just the freest and happiest little boy then in all the world, and I've been pretty much that way ever since. I just been positive, because he started with me being so low and off in the corner trying to hide, and he found me anyway. And I've been so thankful ever since. Over the years, he has blessed me with a precious family. I got 5 children. My wife passed away in 2005. She's been gone for a while. I'm not looking for a woman. I'm just looking for more of God.
How old are you, Harvey?
I just turned 88.
Wow.
3 days ago. This is the 9th. Yeah. On the 6th, I turned 88. Excuse me a moment. Warm. Quite a few years ago, I've always tried to honor the Lord and do what He wanted me to do, but there's nothing really concrete. He didn't come along and take me by the arm and say, "Here, I want you to do this," or tap me on the shoulder, "I want you to do this," or whisper in my ear, "I want you to do this or that." But I honored Him as best I could, and with everything I had and what I knew at the time. And then one day, well, now this is a long time ago, even from now, but in 1970, I was praying for Nigeria. They were having a Biafran war over there, and the Igbo tribe were being surrounded and starved out, and the Muslims were encircled them, would not let foodstuffs in or anything. So the TV was showing little bloated babies, at that time. I was about 40 years old at that time, and it just made me sick to think. I took care of my kids so well, and as a father, it just broke my heart. I couldn't handle this. So it drove me to my knees. I began to pray in dead earnest for these little children and just everything. And over several months, probably it seemed like a long time, probably years, but it wasn't. But I prayed. I thought every prayer I could possibly pray for this country. And finally, one morning, I said the wrong thing. I told Father, I said, Father, I have prayed every prayer that I know for these people. I don't know what else to do except tell you, take me. I'll go there. I'll do what I can. And at that moment, I was pushed into the earth, face down into the sand, like desert sand, white or kind of cream-colored sand. And I was pushed in so deeply that it felt like I had an elephant's feet standing every square inch of my body. I was just being made an imprint into this sand for real. And I couldn't breathe. My face was down. So I mustered enough strength with God's help to get my head turned. I could breathe. And then I was fearful. I thought, what have I said to bring this on? This is an experience I've never had in my life. What has happened? Did I make him angry? And then I began to go over what I'd been praying that morning. And I said, realized that finally I told him, Father, I don't know what else to pray except just let me go over there and see if I can do something, if you can use me over there. And then this is, I said, aha! I am going to Nigeria. Yay! You can use me! Bless God, and I got all excited then. And I tell my church folks, hey, I'm going to Nigeria. You can't. You need it here. No, you can't. This happened to be the Assembly of God up in Havre, Montana, by the way. And they were praying against me. I was a good member, just praying. I had a youth group up there. I was their youth teacher every Sunday morning, and we had such a precious time that even the pastor's class would come over and join mine. And finally the pastor, he came too. So we were having a wonderful time that God was just honoring so much. But they were praying against me, and I knew that I'm going. I don't know how. I didn't have the money. As you know, 5 children, you're not really all that flush with funds. So I waited. I told my wife, I'm going to Nigeria, and I explained to her and the children what was happening and what had happened, and they all agreed. They thought, yes, you're going, Daddy, so we'll just make plans on you going. We don't know how or anything. But then there was a notice. I happened to be working with a telephone company at that time as an engineer, and I went out to the garage that morning to pick up my vehicle, and I had to go east. So I started to pick up my vehicle, or went into the room anyway, and on the bulletin board is this 8x11 sheet of paper from Western Electric. They said, we want 2 men for Nigeria. Now in Montana, that has never happened. Western Electric in New York has nothing to do with Montana. We are too small, like this little boy in the corner, too hidden out that they don't know us. But that morning, that bulletin was on, they wanted only 2 men. 2 men. One just fit my qualification to a T, and they wanted another man to take care of the city and the cables and that kind of stuff. But I saw that and oh, Father, you're just testing me, right? And I ignored it. But I knew in my heart, I knew I'm going, so I just as well fess up and take care of this. But I didn't. I kind of held on. About 2 days later, I went out to get my truck. In fact, I picked up the truck and was heading east on Highway 2. And the Holy Spirit talked to me and he said, I called you to Nigeria. And you accepted. Did you tell me a lie? No, I really meant it. He said, well, quit fooling around and answer that request. Okay. So I came right back and I answered that request very quickly. 2 days later, I got a call from New York. Your application we have received, and we will have a representative in Great Falls, Montana, to interview you about 3 or 4 days later. Very, very rapid. And so, well, that's good. And when I went to the interview, there were 3 of us, 2 other men from, I think one from Missoula and one from Helena, the same qualifications as I, and probably maybe even better qualified. I don't know, bless their hearts, I hope they were. But anyway, I let them go first to the interviewer, and they came out not too impressed, I guess, with the interviewer or what he had told him. I didn't know, I wasn't there. Everybody was separate. Finally, it came my turn, and I went in. The interviewer told me, Harvey, he said, you're not going to have any problem over in Nigeria at all. Well, I knew that. He didn't know that. I knew that I'm going anyway, regardless. You're not going to have any problem in Nigeria at all. He said, you're just almost a natural fit for what we want and what we have planned. But God had other plans, and there's a natural fit for him too. I was so excited. So he said, you'll be hearing from us. So he went back to New York, and then my company and Western Electric got into a little rhubarb, a little fuss up. My company didn't want me to go. They said he's too important in the position he has, and it would take too long to train another man to take his place as quickly as they wanted. And so they canceled it. Well, in the cancellation, they found out also, I found out later, that over in Nigeria, we were putting in a communication system for Nigeria. A complete new microwave system. All I had was the old two-wire FM walkie-talkie kind of thing all throughout the land. It was so remote, so obsolete. Wow. But that's all they had, and we were bring them all up to date. And we were not supposed to be over there. Western Electric, the American manufacturing arm of AT&T, was not supposed to be in any other part of the country in the world. Because in 1934, they had signed a contract with the government that if the government will allow us free rein to build up America and our communication system, we will not sell products or send people over to other foreign lands. Let them handle their own. And so we were going kind of against that law, but Nigeria had gone to the UN and asked that they have a reputable firm come over and design a plan, a microwave communication plan for them. Well, Western Electric went over, where our engineers could do it. That wasn't transferring anything, just giving them information. So they drew up plans for the Nigerian government, and they didn't know anything about microwave. They didn't know anything about anything but FM, walkie-talkie. We got her made, and that's all they knew. Excuse me. So